The holidays have this strange power, don't they? They can pull us back into rooms that we thought we'd outgrown. Rooms full of nostalgia, grief, joy, longing, all of it wrapped in lights and music. I think some of us walk into this season carrying warmth. I think others carry wounds, but I think most of us probably carry both. And if you're anything like me, you've probably felt it all in the same breath. But I can already hear you saying, Carlos, I don't have the energy to reinvent anything this year. I'm just trying to get through it. And I get that. I totally get that. Truly. This isn't about forcing joy or pretending things don't hurt. This is about something quieter, something gentler. How the holidays can become a small canvas for one moment that matters. Because the holidays, they aren't just days on a calendar. They're a chance to start over. So what I want to explore with you is this: how creativity becomes a memory-making force during the holidays. How one intentional moment, a photograph, a journal line, a small handmade act can become an anchor in future years. How the version of you celebrating right now speaks to the version of you who will be here next year and 5 years from now, and the person that you're becoming. I think the holidays can be healing if we approach them as creators, not just observers. That's where we're going today. I remember a Christmas from my childhood that was loud. It was chaotic. It was heavy. But what stayed with me, it wasn't the noise. It was a single quiet moment, a dim lamp, a smell in the air, a silence that felt safe, a feeling that something inside me was being held. That tiny moment became the entire emotional color of the holiday for me. Not the gifts, not the chaos, not the parts that even hurt, just one fragment of peace. And ever since then, I've realized something. It doesn't take much to create a memory that lasts. Just presence, just intention, just one frame captured by your lens, your senses, your soul. That's the kind of memory that we get to build this year. But I know there's another voice whispering in some of you, memories don't change anything, Carlos. Creativity doesn't make the pain go away. And you're right. Creativity doesn't erase pain. What it does is give pain somewhere to breathe, somewhere to rest, somewhere to become something else. And here's the wild thing. Your brain is primed to form deep memories during the holidays. The season activates emotion circuits like nostalgia and longing and joy and grief. Sensory memory, smells, lights, textures, songs, ritual, and repetition centers. This combination creates the perfect environment for emotional encoding, the process that turns moments into lifelong memories, which means whatever you create intentionally during the holidays echoes louder and embeds deeper than almost anything you create in a normal week. A single meaningful moment now becomes a memory next year, a tradition a few years later, a part of your identity a decade from now. Your future self remembers what you make space for now. When you create something small, a photograph of winter light, a scribbled line in a journal, a quiet ritual that no one else sees, you're not documenting the holidays. You're reinforcing something about yourself. I'm someone who creates meaning. I'm someone who builds beauty, even in the complicated places. I'm someone capable of shaping my own story. Creativity becomes a way of telling the truth about who you are, even when the holiday feels messy or it feels imperfect or even emotionally loaded. That's why small acts really matter. In a season that often tells you who you should be, your creative act reminds you who you actually are. And of course, I can already hear that skeptical voice again. Carlos, I've tried doing this before. My holidays are too complicated for that. And I hear you. And this challenge isn't about pretending. It isn't about making the season cinematic. It isn't about performing gratitude either. It's about creating one honest moment this year that belongs to you. Create one memory this holiday season that future you will thank you for. Just one tiny intentional act of creativity. A moment that whispers, I'm rewriting this season. I'm building something new. I'm creating a memory that will outlast the noise. That's enough. Because transformation almost always begins with one act of presence. The holidays aren't about recreating the past. They're about reclaiming the power to shape the future. And every creator, every photographer, every writer, every storyteller, craft maker, dreamer carries the ability to turn a single moment into something sacred. This season can be painful. It can be beautiful. It can be both. But you get at least one small moment to make it yours. Let that be your gift to yourself this year. Now go, honor truth, face what is, speak what's real, and create from the deepest place you know.